206.
206 is another housekeeping bill that was actually suggested by one of the members of the public who regularly attended our meetings. The concern was in the language as it now exists with respect to the retention periods for records kept in electronic form. It was felt that it needed to be clearly stated that while public bodies and public agencies may destroy certain records or delete them from the computer databases after a certain period of time, the fact that they failed to get rid of them doesn't make them, they're still available to the public as long who want them, even after they've passed their retention period, if they haven't been destroyed. If they have been destroyed, well, that's it. They aren't available. But even though there may be a right to destroy them, if they haven't been destroyed and a member of the public wants to get a copy of them or review the records, there's still a right to do that. They're still available. And once a request is made, that although this isn't part of this legislation, there are other provisions in the law that say that once a request for a record has been made, the public official cannot destroy them until that matter has been resolved. So.
Let me just note that this bill, as well as the next one that the Vice Chair will speak to, were the subject of discussion by the Commission, and the Commission voted to move these pieces. In other words, it came from the Commission, and the Commission has approved this. I also want to note that with respect to the one that the Vice Chair just discussed, it was the Commission's position that this amendment does not make any substantive change whatever. It is simply that it was brought to our attention that there was a way of reading that particular line of the statute that could lead to an interpretation which was not what we intended. And therefore, out of an abundance of caution, we added a couple of words here and there to eliminate anybody from moving forward with what would have been an erroneous interpretation of that provision.
I think it's worth reading. Let me read the current law, which was 1408. Roman 3A, governmental records created or maintained in electronic form shall remain accessible for the same retention or archival periods as their paper counterparts. Methods that may be used to accomplish this requirement include, but are not limited to, copying to microfilm or paper or to durable electronic media using standard or common file format. So that's current. The proposed is reads as follows: governmental records created or maintained in electronic form shall remain accessible as crossed out, and new language, be kept or maintained, and then the language continues the same, for the same retention or archival periods as their paper counterparts. And then the new sentence: governmental records in electronic form kept and maintained beyond the applicable retention or archival period shall remain accessible in accordance with RSA 91-A:4, Roman 3. And then the sentence, that's a new sentence. Existing sentence: methods that may be used to cross out accomplish this requirement. New words: keep and maintain governmental records in electronic form may include but are not limited to copying the microfilms. So those are the clarification sentences, which tighten it up. And I think you're right, because the biggest problem citizen defenders of the right to know law have is, will a change give a bad municipal official an excuse to say, oh, the law changed, I don't have to do this anymore. So, that's what that's all.
If I can just
Yes, sir.
add, for those of you who just heard those two readings and are sitting there saying, I'm not quite sure what the difference is, which is what I would be saying if I hadn't been at the previous meeting. I just want to assure you that if you have the text in front of you, and if you heard the discussion of the commission, that would reveal for you this potential slight ambiguity, which the new language removes. It's very difficult to absorb this without actually having both versions in front of you and staring at it for about a minute. In fact, we stared at it for hours and years and still made an initial ambiguity problem. So that's...
House Bill 53, which was heard on Wednesday.